Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is George, where I'll talk about investing. I talk about the stock market. I talk about personal finance and even some career things. Um, so today, I would like to talk to you guys about my Robinhood account and how I was able to double it within 3 months. And so, but before that, I just want to let you guys know that I'm not a financial advisor. I don't recommend specific stocks or companies. I just let you know what I'm doing. I do a lot of due diligence in companies before I invest in them. I don't necessarily invest for the stock price for it to grow because of a low stock price. I invest because of the company itself. Stocks, of course, are just little shares of an entire company. So just keep that in mind. But let's get to it. I'm going to get on my phone here. So I'm going to screen record so you guys know that I am actually like doing this live, and you can see here I'm about to log into my Robinhood, and there it is, and you'll see it up on the screen as well. Um, so there you have it. 3 months, 109%. Started with about $15,000 and it's grown to 32. Just note that this is about, it's less than 5% of my entire portfolio, my investment portfolio. It's less than 5%. And the reason why it's less than 5% is I'm not a big risk taker per se. I don't like to invest in companies unless I'm holding the company for at least a year or more. Typically, I like to invest in the entire stock market through S&P 500 index funds or growth mutual funds. And I recommend index funds or mutual funds. It's about 95% of my entire portfolio is in diversified funds, which is typically or it's essentially the entire stock market. But I can get into that and why I do that in future videos if you'd like. But today, again, I would like to just go over my Robinhood account for you and how I was able to make huge gains in a short period of time. It's not much. It's a humble piece of the pie. But let me go ahead and go over some of these stocks. And so if I'm looking down, it's because I'm on my phone. And I'll go over the ones that I think really drove this doubling of my investment in 3 months. So I have Apple, Tesla, Tellurian, Netflix, OneOak, Pfizer, and DoorDash. Now DoorDash is fairly new. I think I invested in about a week or two when the IPO came out. I went ahead and invested in it. I'm holding for that. I'm trying to hold. Again, I hold all these companies. I'm holding for at least a year, if not longer, before I sell. And it's specifically with Robinhood. 95% more portfolio. To reiterate, 95% of my portfolio is in long-term investments that I'm not going to touch. I'm not going to sell until later in life, because I'm a firm believer of the compound interest effect, that if I continue to leave it in there, it's going to grow exponentially. And I've done the math. I'm a big Warren Buffett fan. And again, I'll go in other videos to kind of explain my strategy or methodology. Yeah, there you go, methodology, and my just overall philosophy in long-term investing. But here you have it. So one of the stocks that I believe really helped, and most of you probably don't know this company. It's Tellurian. In the past 3 months, as you can see here, they've grown 75%. About 3 months ago, they were around 79 cents or so a share. Now they're at $1.34 a share. they're an energy company that export natural gas and gas liquids. Check them out. Do your research. And by the way, as an aside, I highly recommend doing your own research. And when you're investing, I shy away and I don't recommend going into stocks that are just hot or they're recommended by these gurus, because you can get a lot of trouble with them. When I started early, about 15 years ago, when I started trading my first stocks on E-Trade, where it was $10 a share that I had to pay to trade stocks. I did that. I was into penny stocks and things like that, and I didn't do well. I did well, then I didn't do well. So I learned my lesson to invest in not only companies that I know, but also long term. Try not to get too hyped up, because it's easy to get hyped up doubling your money in 3 months and then selling and then buying and selling and trying to profit off that, but it doesn't work well. Now there's going to be gurus that say that there is, and you might be watching this and you said, if you know, then the strategies or what have you, the 5% rule, et cetera, then go for it. I'm not hating on you. I just know for me, I tried it. It's not for me. So I'm a long-term investor. I'm a big Warren Buffett fan. I still believe Warren Buffett, his principles are still true even to this day in this era of the internet. I still believe his basic philosophies still hold true, which is basically hold on to companies that that you're doing well, do your research on it, and then hold it. One of the things I love about Warren Buffett, he says, if you're going to buy a farm, you're not going to like trade it within a week. You're going to buy it, you're going to cultivate it, you're going to grow it, and if you do sell, it's going to be years from now. So that's my strategy. In Tellurian, you can see that potentially it's one of those penny stock type things, but it's not. It's I wasn't really motivated so much about the price, but more about the company. But I'm not gonna lie. I really, part of the reason I jumped in was my dad, my brother and my dad, they work in the oil industry down in Texas. I did for about 5 years as well, in the corporate headquarters of one of the largest natural gas companies in the country. So I'm very familiar with the industry. And so when you told me about this company, I heard about it in the past, Tellurian, but I never really done a lot of research on it. So I did, and one of the things that really was attractive, of course, you see here that in the beginning of the year it like dropped significantly because the exporting and because of COVID and how it affected the energy industry. And there was other things that affected the energy industry. It wasn't just COVID, but it tanked. So it was a great opportunity to get on the quote unquote bottom, but that's not necessarily why I invested. It's part of the reason why I invested. I'm not gonna lie. Again, this is like less than 5% of my entire portfolio is in Robinhood. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bit of riskier thing, but I plan to hold this for the next 5 years. Maybe less, depending on how it performs, how the market bounces back for the energy industry, which I believe it's starting to bounce back. But yeah, that was a big driver. ONEOK is another energy company that I invested in 3 months ago, and they've grown 50%. They're a great company. Again, do your research. I know a lot about the industry. I know a lot about the different companies that are in the energy industry. And so yeah, I invested in it. So that's another big driver. Of course, you guys know Apple's going to do well. It did well. Tesla as well. I'm just going to go through these real quick because I don't want to really bore you. But Tesla's doing well. It's just a solid company. These are just solid companies. I mean, Apple's a solid company. I use the Apple products. Hello. So Tesla, it's a great solid business model, and they're the pioneers of electric cars. The CEO is amazing. He's a genius. Of course, Elon Musk, you guys know. Netflix, they changed the game of... See, a lot of these are pioneers. They changed the game of streaming, movies, etc. Pfizer, this one I invested maybe less than a month ago, I want to say. Yeah, I think I invested less than a month ago. But I saw that they their potential is at $42 a share. Of course, a lot of Pfizer is hyped up because of the vaccine. So I threw a little bit of money in there. Just Pfizer's a good company. They always have been. They're a long-term company. They've been around forever. They make all sorts of products. But, based on the emotions of the market right now, it's like, let me throw a little bit on it. I don't recommend it. I don't do this as my staple. I just want to go over my Robinhood account. Again, less than 5% of my total portfolio. So I did Pfizer and DoorDash because they're an IPO, and I believe DoorDash is going to do well in the next year. Just the entire face of how we do things, the way we do things, the way society works now, it's shifting. It's shifting to delivery. It's shifting to delivering our food or groceries, etc. And DoorDash is well positioned, I believe. Do your research. That's pretty much it. I don't want to go too much into detail of each company, even though I'm very tempted to go into each company and just giving you my opinion on why I invest in some of these companies, and believe that I can hold on to these and make a lot more in the future. In future videos, I'll do more videos on my entire portfolio. It's kind of boring because it's essentially the same stocks and the same investments that I do month over month over month over month, that I just keep pouring into that, in those stocks. But, it wouldn't hurt to just show it. I want to be as transparent as possible with you guys. I want you to know that I am an investor, and you'll get to know more about who I am and what I do, besides doing YouTubes and investing. But that's all I have for today. Hope you enjoy this. Please think about subscribing to this channel. If you liked this video, you thought it was informative, you just liked it, please like the video. It helps me. It gives me encouragement. It helps me go on forward with continue to do these videos, give you my take on it. That's all I have for today. I hope to see you next time. Bye.